matchmaking event, which is being organized in conjunction to Modtissimo Fair in Portugal. This last session is supposed to be an interactive session with participants, especially with those who have attended the B2B meetings, because TEX4IM is here to support them for the, let's say, for the development of their project ideas. So TEX4IM, just a few words about it. First of all, my name is Enrico Venturini. I am the project coordinator. TEX4IM is a project funded by the COSME program. And it's an association of 8 clusters from main textile and clothing regions of Europe to support the industrial modernization of textile and clothing SMEs. So the support that we're going to give is the development of project ideas, which are supposed to be collaborative ideas, collaborative projects among the SMEs or between SMEs and other institutions like R&D or in technology institutes. We are here, the team of experts, to support them, to support these project ideas, and to prepare the different aspects related to the project idea development, from the technical part to the market exploration, the analysis of the market, and the IPR, the human resources, the budget, the KPIs that have to be defined. In practice, we're going to support companies with the development of I would say, a quite complete business plan. But this will be the topic of the following presentation. So as I was saying in the beginning, this is supposed to be an interactive session. So all participants, will be given the possibility to speak by opening their microphones, which is not happening often during these virtual events. But today the purpose is to make a short discussion and to answer questions. The first part of this webinar will be dedicated to the support that TEX4IM will give to participants mainly for the development of the business plan. So my colleague and friend Paola Fontana will present briefly what is a business plan and how it is composed. Then we will make a simple, very simple case study, and then we will leave the time for your questions and some interactive, let's say, interactive activity. So if you have developed, this is very important, if you have developed a good project idea during these B2B meetings, or it doesn't matter if you develop the project idea during the B2B, you can still have a project idea in your mind that you would like to share with the TEX4IM partners. Please feel free to do it by dropping your expression of interest into the dedicated section of the TEX4IM website, which is tex4im.eu, tex4im.eu. There is a very simple format to be filled about the description of the idea that you want to carry on, and you will be contacted by one of the project team members to support you with the development and with the evaluation of the quality of this idea. Of course, we will not only support the development of the business plan and the technical part of the idea, but also we can address you towards one public or private funding stream that could be available, that could be suitable for your project. So I don't want to make it much longer, so now I give the floor to Paola Fontana from Pointex, the cluster in Piedmont region in Italy, in Biella in particular, and she will make a very short presentation about the kind of support that TEX4IM can provide to participants. Thank you very much. Paola, the floor is yours.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. Yes.
Okay, can you also see my presentation?
Yes, if you can put the full screen mode.
Just, let me see. Is it okay?
Yes, fine.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon to everybody. My name is Paola Fontana and I represent Pointex, as I said, Enrico, the textile innovation cluster based in the northwest of Italy and managed by Città Studi Biella. We are partners of TEX4IM project and responsible of the business plans of the European SMEs that are working with us within the TEX4IM project. So after several matchmaking sessions and B2B meetings held during this wonderful event organized by our friends from Citeve, which I would like to thank very much, I will present the TEX4IM ideas flourishing from B2B meetings, how to transform your idea in a concrete business. I will start my speech presenting the business plan structure that we are using to help companies in the development of their innovative and collaborative projects. And first of all, I want to say that our doors are still completely open, as Enrico said, to the SMEs that want to present their project ideas. So please don't hesitate to apply. The application is very easy. We will share the link you can use to submit your expression of interest, and we will contact you immediately to start your innovation journey to the market. In this slide, you can see the summary of a TEX4IM business plan. I think it is very important to underline that this is not only an exercise, let's say, but it is really a way to help SMEs to reach the market. TEX4IM partners will support SMEs in the preparation of the business plans, in finding partners if needed, as we have a very huge network all over Europe, and last but not least, in finding private or public funding. You will see that the information you have to provide is quite summarized. You see the number of characters in the slide. We don't need lots of words to describe the project. It is much better to have a short, clear and focused description. You will have to explain your business idea, what you will sell, where and to whom, to define the goals that you want to achieve with your business, describe your financial objectives for the first year, the turnover you hope to achieve, and state the amount you need to start your business. So let's start. Session 1, I will not describe the contact information. Section 2 is the business concept. It means that you have to describe the objectives of your overall innovation project and the expected outcome. You should describe the industrial, economical, social problem to be solved and the business opportunity you intend to address. Section 3 vision is basically a project description. Section 4, which problem will your solution solve? It deals with how your innovative solution will solve the problem and how you will use the business opportunity. Section 5, which is the current TRL, you have also to describe the positioning of the business innovation project, referred to technology readiness level. In TEX4IM project, we don't support research projects in their very beginning phases, as we are focused on the market. So the TRL should be quite high, I guess not less than 656 at least. Section 6, SWOT analysis. A SWOT diagram is needed to describe strength, in which way your product is better than the existing ones. Weaknesses, anything that could stand against your business from the technical point of view and also from the market point of view. Opportunities, consider the factors that might let you have an advantage from. Threats, external factors that might affect your projects and business. You have to state with challenges and obstacles you are facing and find some possible solution to overcome them. The unique selling point has to be considered too. It is basically what makes your business different from the competitors. It can be related to your product, but also to your way to run the business. And last, you should also have an idea of the cost to produce your product in order to calculate the selling price. Section 7 and 8 are dealing with a vision. A vision of the future will be useful too, which will be the project status over 1 year from now. And 5 years from now, this vision will help to identify the improvement potential over time, also compared to existing solutions, and to select the investments to be done. Section 9, the market. Yeah, really important section. Who is the customer? What the customer is willing to pay? Describe the market, including the competitive situation and market drivers. You should also define if your customers will be business or individuals. You should explain why your customers should buy your product, in which way it is better if compared to existing ones. And also a market study would be very useful in order to understand the position of your product idea among the other existing solutions. And also it could be very useful to define how many customers you expect to have and how will you reach them. I mean, direct marketing, advertisements, business flyers, social media, or maybe you are already in contact with them as they are already your customers. Section 10, business model and value chain. Yes, you have to describe here the business model that may be B2B, B2C or others, and value chain, stakeholders, partners, and so on. Section 11, time plan. You have to specify when the project can start and estimate the time to market, which in principle should be not very long. This section is basically a Gantt chart with some milestones that you think are important. Section 12, budget, which means personal, subcontracting, other costs, goods, services, travels, indirect costs, and so on. And also the source of funding, I mean, the ones you already have and the ones that you are looking for and that we can help you to identify. Section 13, IPR. Are there patents, patent applications, trademarks or design? Are there future opportunities for protection? This doesn't mean it is mandatory to have a patent, but it has to be very clear how you are going to manage this IPR issue. Section 14, in what way are the business concepts linked to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals? Some important goals may be, for instance, affordable and clean energy, economic growth, industry, innovation, infrastructures, responsible consumption and production, and this kind of things. Section 15 and Section 16, in what way is the business concept strengthening international partnerships within textile and clothing sector, and what way, how the business concept contribute to TEX4IM aim. It is important to explain the composition of your international partnership, I mean the actors involved. That might be SMEs, large companies, R&D centers, and also to explain how your project proposal contributes to the industrial modernization of the textile and clothing sector, which is the aim of TEX4IM project. Last request, 17 project performance indicators. That are 5 indicators that you can select and that have to be achieved by the partnership at the end of the project. You are free to decide the indicators that are most suitable to your project idea. They have to be tangible, realistic, and measurable. So, as I said, we are going to help companies for the preparation of the business plans. which companies and services can we offer to SMEs? We are a network of clusters, textile clusters all over Europe, so we have several technical competencies we can offer to companies. You have a list here from circular economy to advanced textile materials, from green chemistry to IPR issues, from education to prototype development, upscaling, testing, and so on and so far. So you can really have a wide range of opportunities here. But there are also other competencies that are important to support companies to reach the market, such as management services. And in this case, we can offer you management and company organization, ideation support, innovation management, coaching and mentoring services, finances, sources funding, and also market strategy development. And as we are very active in the internationalization issues too, we can also offer networking support for internationalization activities involving our international networks all over EU. Sorry. Some examples. I will show you now some examples of projects that might be ongoing ones or success stories. This is the portfolio of project proposals we have reached and we have received within TEX4IM projects so far. This portfolio will be implemented with the proposals we will reach and we will received after this matchmaking event, so this is not the final one. I am not allowed to go into details on these projects for confidentiality reasons. I think you can understand, but you can see that there are so many kind of projects in this portfolio, from artificial intelligence to textiles for military applications, from 3D knitted fabrics to self-cleaning public transport, seat upholstery, from wool to hemp to technical textiles. So you can really get inspiration to present your project proposal. These are only some spots. I will conclude my presentation with some more examples taken from the first newsletter of EU Textile 2030 that was to be a project first and is now also a European economic interest grouping, of which we are partners and founding members together with the main European clusters related to advanced textile materials. These success stories are related to the COVID-19 pandemic to show how companies reacted. Some projects were developed by one company, some others by a group of companies, and they represent some examples of projects that cluster can support to help companies to reach the market. I will not explain in detail each project. I can let you have the link to the complete newsletter for any further information. And you will find in this slide the title of the success story, the name of the companies, and of the cluster involved. I will read shortly the titles. Elastic bands for the healthcare and medical sector, and from promotional products to reusable face masks, from blankets to masks, and industrial takes advantage of the demand for sanitary equipment to boost the sectors. These 4 projects were developed in Catalonia in Spain. 2 of them were developed in Italy, test passed by Made in Italy surgical masks together against COVID-19, and the very first cotton surgical mask with removable filter certified as CE marked medical device. 2 more projects developed in Czech Republic, fresh dye, self-cleaning textile and face masks, nanofiber-based antimicrobial reusable non-valve respirator. 2 from Germany, environmental friendly reusable protective textiles and virus and bacterial repellent reusable face masks for mass production. And 2 from France, AJ Bias now sells washable textiles masks online. And last, new technology with virus seal action developed by the Serge Ferrari Group. As you can imagine, several companies changed or converted some parts of their production facilities to manufacture masks. Just to mention some examples, they used to produce blankets or home textiles or fashion products or microfiber products for the promotional products sector or knitwear and more. So they successfully reached the market producing masks with several functions. Masks for non-sanitary uses to be worn from general public, surgical masks that might be customizable, reusable, washable, long-lasting, and certified as medical device type 1 and 2 with CE mark. Masks with a metal and plastic-free nasal adjustment that can be adapted to chin that prevents fogging on the glasses, and so on. Some other companies developed a material with self-cleaning effect, which provides the fabric with protection against pollutant and can be used in face masks, bed linen, or clothing as well. Another example is represented by a consortium of companies that has brought reusable workwear onto the market that is suitable for clinic and care. It is bacterial and virus proof, resistant to hydrolysis, steam sterilizable, washable at 19 Celsius degrees, disinfectable and resistant to blood, oils and fats. And the last, another group successfully developed the technology for composite materials against viruses based on silver particles. This company worked in cooperation with a specialized laboratory in order to make surfaces safer in facilities open to public or with heavy footfall, include healthcare facilities, school, nurseries, offices, leisure facilities, and public transport vehicles. Some of these projects were developed by SMEs in cooperation with a multinational corporation or with a research center. What I would like to underline once more is that the cooperation is really an important issue for TEX4IM projects, but I would say for several innovative projects. And this cooperation may be achieved among companies, SMEs or large companies, based in different countries, and also among SMEs and R&D centers. These success stories were developed in Italy, Spain, France, Germany, and Czech Republic, just to mention some countries. But these models could be extended all over Europe, and this is what we want to do in TEX4IM project. So stay tuned on TEX4IM website and send us your project idea, and we will do our best to help you to develop your project idea. I guess that Anna will send the link for submitting applications. And this is all from my side. I thank you for your attention, and I am at your disposal with the colleagues of TEX4IM project for any further information you may need and also to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paola. It was a very inspiring presentation, full of many examples. Now I would like to ask participants to mute their mic because they will be opened once we have finished our presentations. Thank you very much. Yes, one point that I would like to clarify. The business plan structure that Paola has presented with more than almost 20 points to be described by applicants. I want to clarify that this structure is not the expression of interest that you have to submit through the website that Paola presented in her previous slide, because the expression of interest is very, very simple. It's only a very short description of few lines of your project ideas, what are the participants to the partnership, and what you would like to achieve. Then, if the project idea is reputed, is the expression of interest, sorry, is reputed to be developed further, the TEX4IM team will contact you and will support you. As Paula was said, we have 8 textile regions in Europe. So we have, I'm going to mention them so you know who you can refer to in your country if you want to develop the project area further. So the coordinator is myself. I am Enrico Venturini from Next Technology Tecnotessile, which is located in Prato, in Italy. Then in Italy, we have also Paola Fontana, that you met before. In France, we have Stéphane Veren and Carl Martin from Euromaterials. In Spain, we have Julia Vercher from Ateval. In Portugal, we have Ana Ribeiro from CITEV, the Portuguese Textile Cluster. In Sweden, we have Lena Marie Jensen from the University of Borås, the cluster Smart Textile. In Czech Republic, we have Petra Duvkova from Klatex, and in Romania, we have Carmen Bovicic and Adina Simonescu from Astrico Northeast Cluster. So you also have the names. The presentation that Paula made was full of examples. I want to tell you another very short story before opening the mics, and is related to one of the outcomes that were generated by the first matchmaking. So the matchmaking that you are attending today is not the first one. TEX4IM organized before the pandemic in November 2019 the first matchmaking event, which was done in presence in Stockholm, in beautiful Stockholm, and we had more than 100 meetings organized. On that occasion, many companies from different European regions met each other, like what is happening today, hopefully. And I want to briefly tell you a story about a company from our cluster that participated to the matchmaking in Stockholm. Well, they went there with a lot of nice ideas in their mind, because it's a textile SMEs producing fancy clothing and fancy textile products like yarns. So they were looking for somebody who was also very much committed to propose new circular products onto the market. By participating to that matchmaking, they met another company. I'm not going to tell you which one, of course, nor from which country was it, but it was representing a fashion brand, or better, a group of fashion brands, especially for baby wear, and the sustainable product that the Italian company wanted to do was based on the use of recycled material that in their concept was to be replaced to synthetic material that is nowadays very, very much used for clothing accessories or clothing outwear. So the idea was how to not to replace, because the technology was developed internally by the company, but where to find the material and find the right business partner for the commercialization of this product, which was sustainable, because this garment accessory was produced by replacing synthetic material with recycled waste fibers of wool, so it was a natural material. And the fashion brand that we're representing there, they were very excited about this idea, and they not only made a sample production, but also they provided some contacts about the possible providers of this natural wool. And these providers were in particular local farms. So some farms from Tuscany and other regions in Italy were contacted, and since they have, sheep animals grown in their farms, they normally have the problem of what to do with wool that is produced by the ships, because the quality is not so good. So normally the wool that is used in clothing is bought elsewhere in some regions of the world where the quality is much higher, like Kashmir, Australia, USA, etc. So Mongolia. The quality of the wool produced here in Italy was not so good. But for these kind of accessories could be used. And so the value chain was created by starting from the farm, so the sheep animal growing farm, to the production of these special technical textile for garment accessory, to the fashion brand that was willing to commercialize this sustainable material. And the experiment was very successful. We are very happy because we provided them the support to apply also to a public call for funding. So the example that was shown before about how to realize a business plan was very pertinent, because not that big amount of information, but smaller part of them were prepared by the company with the support of the clusters involved in the different regions, and this was allowed to submit a project proposal under a public call. Of course, the example that was presented before is a complete business plan. It's a template of a business plan that include all the information possible, more or less, and so this is usable also for private investors like banks, the European investment banks, or private investors, business angels, etc. And in that case, the amount of information needed is more or less the same of the chapter that you have seen before. But for other public funding opportunities that are open for SMEs, normally the amount of information that is required is reduced, so it's not that many. In any case, the clusters are here to support you and to lead you through all the steps that are needed to successfully go on the market and present your business idea. So having said this, I told you this very short story. We have more or less 20 minutes left. If you want to make your questions and start the interaction, I would ask Anna to open the mics. Or you can drop your questions into the chat. If no questions will be sent now, it means that we were so good in explaining everything that you don't need to ask questions. So I know it's always very hard for you to submit questions. We have many participants, but maybe many of you are already familiar with the preparation of project application forms or business plans. So if this is the case, then maybe you don't need that many explanations. But in case you are an SME and you never did this kind of exercise, we will be happy to support you and to clarify any doubt. In case there is no question, we can, let's say, we can ask you to send an email or leave a comment in the dedicated area of the TEX4IM website, which is going to be left open for many years. So TEX4IM will be a partnership sustainable in the long term. Yes, you see in the chat the TEX4IM website address, so please If you don't want to make any question now, please go to the website and leave your comment or your request in the specific dedicated parts of the website. There is a part dedicated to the expression of interest, and there is another part dedicated to comments and requests for information. In any case, also in the presentation that Paola made before, you have the contact details. Yes. I will leave in a chat also my email address, so you can contact me. In the chat. So as I don't see any question coming, I would like to thank all participants for being with us today, for having taken part to TEX4IM matchmaking event, which was proved to be a very successful event. We are very happy with the number of participants. We have reached more than 300 participants. It's a very big number. There is still a little bit of time for booking your B2B meetings because the platform is going to be open till the end of today. And we hope to see you soon and to hear from you soon in one of the next TEX4IM actions. By the way, I take also this occasion to remind that next month in April, we will make the final conference of TEX4IM. So you will be invited and you will receive the invitation for the final conference. For any other issue, all the project team is open to support you. Last but not least, a special thank to the team in CITEV, in the Portuguese Textile Cluster, for organizing this very full of interesting webinars event, and also for organizing the marketplace with the B2B meetings. In particular to Ana Ribeiro and Elena Suarez, they have been very, very helpful and committed. Without their help, this wouldn't have been possible. And then, of course, all the other TEX4IM partners for their support. So stay tuned on our website, and thank you very much for taking part to this session today. Bye-bye.